What's up, earthly family and universal family? Got some more PE coming at you. Positive energy, you know that's the most high. DH8, don't hate. Like I always say, don't believe me. Read and research for yourself. For yourself. It's kind of cloudy today in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's why it's kind of a little gloomy look. But the t-shirt ministry still popping off. We still blessing folks out here with the truth and materially and with food. But let's get started. We're finna start Gomer's sons. Gomer, remember he's the oldest son of Japheth. So this is Gomer's sons that we'll talk about today, which is Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. Let's start with Ashkenaz. Now here we go. Remember this word. Ashkenaz originally meant Scythian. Where do we hear Scythian? Remember the last show? Magog, the progenitor of the Scythians. The Greeks knew them as Cynthia Magogia. They were brutal people when they invaded. Brutal. Woo! Horrific stuff they did. Now remember, y'all, what Scythians meant. It wasn't originally it wasn't Ashkenaz at first. It was Scythians, which were they were from the north of the Black Sea in the middle of Caucasus in Mesopotamia from 630 to 600 BC. They were merciless, brutal, and barbaric to nations they invaded. And I told you what warlike means: burning stuff, killing the men, stealing people and things, leaving the land, lay waste, or taking the land. And this is what they did. They were warlike people. And barbarians. Remember Conan the Barbarian? They've been showing us on the movies for years. And so steppe lands north of the Black Sea, what today is southern Ukraine. They went back home to dead. Gomer, Germany. You know, the Germans basically called them the non-Jewish Germans of Jewish speakers of Yiddish. Does that sound familiar over in Israel? Where it's supposed to be our land? Remember the Arabs said they left black and came back white? Hint, hint. I'll let y'all figure out the rest. But this is Ashkenaz. This is the Zionists. When they say anti-Semitic, but how can you be anti-Semitic when the people are not Semitic over there and they're not Shemites? We're the Shemites, the Israelites. And so this is why it's important to know the origin of the tribes and where they come from. Because Ashkenaz now has went back to Magog. Remember Magog, the younger brother of Gomer, remember he kicked out Gomer. And then Gomer, remember, went to the British Isles and did all the mess over there and went east. Some of them went east and did all the mess over in the Caucasus and Armenia and in Asian area, and they kicked them out of there 7 BC. So, you know, this is the Trail of Tiras, how far back this thing goes. And now what you see over here today. And so before their army spread southwestward into Western Asia Minor and southwestern into Assyria and the Babylon Empire. Babylon empires. See what happened? This is what Jeremiah and Daniel was talking about that was coming down from the north. They're the reason why the Babylonian downfall was spoken of by these prophets. And so there it is, Ashkenaz, guys. Let's go to the second son, Riphath. Which means etymology. Anybody heard that word from? That's what they did. They took languages and eventually created their own language into now what we have today is the English language, which doesn't even exist because it still all comes from Phoenician. They just twisted it. And here's what the etymology said. Just go get an etymology dictionary and you'll see what I mean. Here's the start of it right here. Riphath. And he was in the Riphaean Mountains, north of Europe or Asia, the Alps in Switzerland, He was known to be the source of the Danube, but the etymology is what I want you guys to pay attention to, because these words that we say in English, they have so many different meanings, and some of them sound the same, but they mean the same thing. But they told us they didn't mean the same thing. So, hey, study your history. The last son we have, Togarmah. He is Asia Minor, modern Turkey, aligned with Russia, the southwestern part of Turkey near the Syrian border. Just read Ezekiel 38:6, and you'll see. They founded Armenia. Togarmah is ancient Armenia. Turkey is the only nation in the world that has land on 2 continents, which is Europe and Asia. So see how it's all in the family, and how they went back and forth, and killing one another and taking each other's land, and you got some of them scared to be around some of them, and so a lot of this stuff was perfected long time ago. And what you see happening today, they perfected it against each other. The killing and the merciless and the barbarianism against each other. And then which eventually came down to the south. And so, as always, guys, I want you to always remember to study other left out and removed books from the Bible. Study past and present history in totality before the information age we live in is no more. DHA, don't hate, and much love to all the tribes. To be continued.